Yo, what is up, everybody? It's P-Side. Welcome to another video. Jacob Z back on the channel. What'd you do today?
I managed to get first place with Ryzeal Mitsurugi.
That is awesome. You attended a quarter century stampede
Celebration
mat tournament, and look at this first place trophy. That's awesome. You also got 6 packs of quarter century stampede,
which will be opening up on the channel.
Awesome,
Look
man.
out for that short.
All right, so let's see. You went 4-0-1 today after 5 rounds.
Yes, actually, I did get a draw. So that was the thing that was kind of crippling me. We ended up doing a 5th round into this, and that was ultimately where I.
And you won out. You beat the other undefeated. That's awesome, man.
I feel bad for him. There he is.
Shout out to second place champion Robert Krieger.
He fought well. He fought very well.
I cheated. I want to get his shit.
Anyways.
All right, let's get into the list then.
All right, so 2 X because that's all we could run. 2 Ice because that's all we could run. 2 Sword because that's all we can run. 1 Node because
still on the node. Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice card, but you don't want to run too many of that. It'll so that's it for the Ryzeal monsters, unfortunately. Mitsurugi, you're looking at 2 of the Ame, the Regeki, the best ritual. Futsu as the other basically target for this, the ritual. Pretty good for searching out anything. 2 Saji, 1 Kusanagi, 1 Night Sword Serpent.
Makes sense.
I did do 3 Saji, and that just clogs up.
Okay.
So. Spells for the engine. 1 Bonfire, 1 7 Tachyon, because that's all I pulled out of my box.
That is hilarious. I love it. So you're only playing 1, and you're playing the extra deck space for it?
Yeah, I have to.
It must be that strong. Okay, well, yeah, you need the consistency, right?
I need whatever consistency I can get, so I need just the 1 for that one. And as much as I want to run 7th Ascension, it's just if I have
you're
both
searching
of them,
it's too much.
It's good for deck thing, but then I get drolled. And then what do I do?
Yeah.
1 Prosperity to kind of help mitigate that.
Yeah.
More of the Mitsurugi stuff. 3 Prayers, because this card is just unbelievably
bonkers.
broken.
Yeah.
I went back to 3 Ritual because you often see the Ritual in your hand. You never want to see that, but if you can either Prayers it away or you have the Ritual, then there you go. You just Ritual summon it, give yourself basically +2, and you're good to go.
Makes sense.
One more spell, Ryzeal Cross, to just put people on negation and to help recur.
This deck is ass.
Stop it, Robert.
Anyways, the non-engine, 3 Ash because the Mulch Armies.
Yes,
and
that's why I play Ash too. It's the Mulch Armies.
It's a good card for choke points in certain decks. Blue Eyes, it's good against Wishes. And whatnot.
Yeah. They go neg 1.
3 Droll and Lockbird. Shout out to Droll and Lockbird for being the MVP.
Fuck that card.
Every good player's main decking this now.
It's the best card right now to main deck.
I said good players.
Jesus Christ.
What's trophy at?
2 Nibiru, 2 Valor, 1 Fualos.
Interesting ratios.
So I did play the 3 Fualos, but if there's anything I know is that everybody's so prepared for Fualos now that it's accessible that every time that I use this, it'll get ashed and whatever. The people that play the Dominus,
it's either Purge or Impulse. Okay,
Purge is the one that's for the searches. So it's like this card always gets stopped. So I just kind of honestly have it in there for more of my non-engine.
Oh, okay.
So it's there for cross out, and then if I do sack it against the right player, then I'll sack it against the right player.
Yeah.
But it never came up in the tournament, so it honestly was very minimally impactful.
Okay.
I put the 2 Valors back in place of it just because I like the ability to stop cards at choke points.
Yes.
And that's why I was seeing wrong when I went to Case tournament yesterday.
Okay. Wow, nice.
And then 3 Imperm.
Of course.
Just negating monster effects is just always too good. So that's it for the main deck. We got.
Do you know how many cards are in the main deck?
41.
All right, awesome.
As much as I want to stretch it further, as a lot of Mitsurugi Ryzeals do, 41, because of everything being hit, I want consistency.
Yes.
So having it at 45, you might see too many hand traps. You might see too many Mitsurugis. So putting it close to 40 is so much better and healthier for the deck.
Agreed.
Until we get the support.
Yes, that support's insane.
Yeah. 1 detonator because it's only at 1.
It's at 1.
Two dual drive for consistency and to send one off of the X sometimes. Never really came up in that case, but it's still just a nice option. Two Eclipse Twins because Eclipse Twins are a good recursive power without having to use the main deck spot for plug-in.
Yeah.
King of the Feral Imps is a king because he searches out any of your Mitsurugi pieces that you need to pretty much start your stuff. Add the Saji if you have a normal summon for the turn. Like if you start with X, go Sword, you could do Saji first with this, and then add a Mitsurugi Ritual, go into Eclipse Twins, bring this back later in the turn.
Yes, and then use it again.
Search for the Ritual monster, and then you're all set up. Baguska for stalling out against trolls. This card always gets outed, so honestly I'm contemplating on taking it out. Extra time for those unexpected board clears on people.
Yeah.
I did pull this off on Crystron in my round 4, I believe it was. This just comes out of nowhere. People don't really...
They don't expect it sometimes,
They completely forget about it existing sometimes. But, I mean, if you play the Beansmith version, sure, but... even
any
then.
2 level 4 bodies can just clear the field.
Exactly. One Emerald.
Oh, nice!
Just because Mitsurugi uses materials out of deck or summons out of deck, so eventually you're going to run out of gas to use your rituals later on in the turn. So this will help you to recycle it back and put either the ritual monster back in or materials to keep it going.
And you get to draw a card too.
and I get to draw a card. And again, because of how broken Eclipse Twins is and how old cards are, I could do this twice in one turn. But that of course never came up. It would be a very niche case.
Yeah.
One Tornado Dragon never really came up. Just a replacement for the second detonator.
Yeah.
Dugaris, it is a helps me get through the deck. It helps me to access Mitsurugi when I get to send it to the graveyard off of either Node Ryzeal or Ice Ryzeal. Brings back the Saji and does all that stuff. Or I could close out a game, beat over a Chaos Angel that's only been summoned by lights. This is my way around that.
Nice.
Then we have the one aggregator to negate effects.
Yeah.
Typhon, because clearing boards is sometimes very helpful, and not always are you going to be seeing your Ryzeals to where you're locking into 4s. So then oftentimes I could do the Mitsurugi stuff, try to go into Ryzeal, and just do this over it. Lizardos to get Nib off field or Nib token off field, and sometimes to draw me a card. And then this is the target for the 7 Tachyon.
Okay, nice.
Side deck, the other 2 Fualos. So my idea was to put this in going second against any decks that need to special summon from extra deck or deck, namely like Fiendsmith or to an extent Blue Eyes if they're trying to get good boards.
Yeah.
So this was more for those kind of cases. Didn't really come up too much today. 2 Ghost Spell, and
ooh, wow.
This is because of there being Fiendsmith, there being Labyrinth. So this I feel like is a must for that.
Yeah, actually, I think I might start playing that card because of that.
Yeah, it's
everyone has Fiendsmith now.
Yeah, I mean at this point, well, if you didn't pick up the Requiems in your
True.
The third nib for again those combo heavy decks. I usually side this in against Blue Eyes and just whatever sets up good big boards. Mostly this is for Malice, which is why you don't see Lancia in here. I just think that Lancia is just too hard of an out for Malice to where it wastes up the extra deck spot.
Like if they don't kill you, or like if you don't kill them, then like you have to deal with their crackback, which is really insane.
Exactly. So I would rather just have them play through their stuff and then just get rid of it all.
Yeah. Did you consider playing one? Nah, that is a lot of side deck space because you can search Lancia off of the what's that card called? The 7th Tachyon, I believe.
I can, but then I'd have to lose an extra deck spot.
Yeah, so that's just too much.
It's already too tight.
Yeah.
So then the rest of my side deck, so like I said, no Lancias. The rest of it is Lightning Storm, Harpies for Blue Eyes. I honestly, this is the answer to Malice. People really seem too worried about them setting up their boards going like second against them, but you just use this and it breaks their board.
Unless they end on Trigate Wizard, like their spells and traps are their disruptions. So if you out those, then they're screwed.
Then the only thing that they really have is their the Link 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
and then just hand traps.
Yeah.
So honestly, I feel like that's just perfectly enough.
Yeah.
2 Eclipse.
Wow.
This is for Blue Eyes and Ryzeal.
Okay.
It shuts off the Ryzeal. It forces them to use their detonator. But it shuts off the Ryzeal to where you could get your effects through cross. And then it's even good if you think about it technically against Drill Beam. Because
Yeah.
you set the monster and then it can't negate it and then it can't banish it.
That's awesome. Second place was also on Book of Eclipse, so maybe there's something to that.
Book of Eclipse is a pretty good card. I think it's going to be something that people don't expect. But, I mean, it can be Ash, but I don't think...
Yeah, but then they can't ash your other stuff.
Exactly. It makes them waste through that. So the rest of my side, 2 evenlies.
Oh, yeah. Evenly is
To
crazy.
be the rest of that space, and just in case I face up against Odeon.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we have the Great Purification Mitsurugi.
Okay, you side the trap card.
I put it in the side because I don't want to see it drawn, and because I'm not always going to see the Mitsurugi engine going.
Yeah.
So the chances of me making use of this and relying on this for my opening hand is just not a good idea. So that's why it's going in the side.
Okay.
And then 3 Solemn Judgments.
3 Judgments?
Because I don't want you to board clear me. If you stop me, I don't want you to play. So Solemn Judgment just says, you know what? Screw your rights.
No!
You're not allowed to play.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations so much, Jake. Thank you so much for the deck profile. And man, look at that awesome trophy. Well deserved. Subscribe.